Are humans the only intelligent species in the universe? Or are there other intelligent beings somewhere? If aliens really exist, then it is natural to think that perhaps aliens ask such questions too. How can we establish communication between two intelligent species in our universe? Keeping this in mind, NASA has spearheaded many projects to somehow send a message to the aliens. In 1977, NASA launched its Voyager 1 spacecraft with a clearly defined mission to explore our solar system, including its outer planets, the edges of our sun's effects, and even beyond that. In simple words, it was an interstellar mission. There are millions of solar systems in our Milky Way galaxy. The space between these solar systems is known as interstellar space. Till date, NASA has launched only 5 interstellar spacecrafts: Pioneer 10, Pioneer 11, Voyager 1, Voyager 2, and New Horizons. Out of these 5, only 2 have been able to reach interstellar space, because it takes an extremely long time to go beyond our solar system. These 2 are very special, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. They explored our solar system and sent us amazing photos of Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Till date, Voyager 2 is the only spacecraft to have gone near Uranus and Neptune. Voyager 1's journey has been so long that it has officially become the man-made object farthest from Earth. As of October 2024, it is 24.7 billion kilometers away. The most interesting part about these 2 Voyagers is that they are carrying messages for aliens, which are now traveling through space. In 1965, an engineer working at NASA noticed that the last 4 planets of our solar system, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, would be in a unique geometric arrangement during the late 1970s. This unique arrangement occurs only once every 175 years. It meant that a spacecraft could take advantage of the gravitational forces of these 4 planets and pass near them using relatively little fuel and time. This principle is called gravity assist, using the mass of a planet or an object in space to change speed and trajectory. Based on this principle, NASA planned the Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 missions. This is why the year 1977 was chosen to launch them. According to the mission, Voyager 1 had to fly by Jupiter and Saturn. Voyager 2 had to pass by Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Both spacecrafts had a similar design. They were powered by 3 radioisotope thermoelectric generators. They did not have solar panels because after crossing Mars and Jupiter, solar energy becomes largely useless. At that distance, the sun's rays do not have sufficient energy to generate power. Since their mission was to go beyond the solar system, they were powered by the radioactive decay of plutonium. When plutonium decays, it releases heat, which can be converted into electricity. That's why it was named the radioisotope thermoelectric generator. Apart from this, both probes carried 10 scientific instruments: a 2-camera imaging system to take pictures, a spectrometer to measure the abundance of hydrogen, another spectrometer to measure ultraviolet activity in space, a magnetometer to measure magnetic fields of the planets, a high-gain antenna to communicate with Earth, and some other small instruments to measure different levels of radiation. Interestingly, Voyager 2 was launched before Voyager 1. Voyager 2 launched on 20th August 1977, and 16 days later, on 5th September 1977, Voyager 1 launched from NASA's Kennedy Space Center. Voyager 1's route was shorter and faster than Voyager 2's, so it reached Jupiter first. In March 1979, Voyager 1 recorded an amazing time-lapse made with 66 different photos, each photo taken after 1 rotation period of Jupiter. This is also when we discovered Jupiter's rings. Many people think only Saturn has rings, but Jupiter has rings too. They aren't visible unless you get close to them. Jupiter, its moons, and its rings together are called the Jovian system. The word Jovian comes from the Roman god of sky and thunder, Jove, another name for Jupiter, after which the planet was named. Now, friends, there are 3 other planets like Jupiter: Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. They also have rings and multiple moons. These 4 planets are gas giants, collectively called the Jovian planets. During its exploration, Voyager 1 discovered volcanic activity on Jupiter's moon, Io. This was the first time humans had seen active volcanoes on another planet. Before Voyager 1 reached Jupiter, we thought Jupiter had 13 moons, but Voyager 1 found 2 more. Then, on 9th July 1979, Voyager 2 reached Jupiter and got even closer, discovering yet another moon. Thanks to Voyager, the number of known moons around Jupiter increased from 13 to 16, and today we know Jupiter has 95 moons. 12th November 1980, Voyager 1 reached Saturn. By this time, its speed had increased much more than Voyager 2's, so it took 9 more months for Voyager 2 to reach Saturn. Once there, Voyager 1 discovered 3 new moons: Atlas, Prometheus, and Pandora. Pandora is the same name given to the alien planet in the film Avatar, but in reality it is one of Saturn's moons. At that time, about 15 moons of Saturn were known. Today, around 146 moons have been discovered. After crossing Saturn, the paths of Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 diverged. Voyager 2 continued towards Uranus and Neptune, becoming the first and only man-made object to fly by those planets. It passed Uranus in 1986 and Neptune in 1989, sending us marvelous photos. Voyager 1, on the other hand, changed its trajectory and left the ecliptic plane. If you don't know what that is, it's the imaginary plane on which the planets of our solar system revolve around the sun in their orbits. If seen in 3 dimensions, it looks almost flat, though orbits may differ by a few degrees. In this diagram, you can see rough estimates of the current locations of Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. The next month, on Valentine's Day, 14th February 1990, Voyager 1 took its most famous photo, the pale blue dot. This photo was taken from about 6 billion kilometers away. In it, Earth appears as a tiny pale blue speck. From this perspective, Voyager 1's camera captured a family portrait of our inner solar system, showing Venus, Earth, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune together. Mercury and Mars aren't visible because of the sun's glare, and poor Pluto, which isn't considered a planet anymore, was too small to be seen. After taking these last photos, Voyager 1's cameras were shut down to save power and memory. Then, in 2004, it crossed the termination shock, a point at the edge of our solar system where solar wind slows down dramatically. Solar wind refers to the charged particles emitted by the sun. They form a sort of protective bubble around the solar system called the heliosphere, which shields us from interstellar radiation. Voyager 1 only crossed the boundary into interstellar space in 2012, 22 years after its interstellar mission began. NASA took 8 months to confirm this, carefully double-checking the data. Finally, in September 2013, they announced it. For the first time, a man-made object had crossed the limits of the solar system. Coincidentally, this historic crossing happened on 25th August 2012, the very same day Neil Armstrong, the first human to step on the moon, passed away. The Pioneer plaque was a small, gold-anodized aluminum plate placed on Pioneer 10 and 11. The message engraved on it was meant to tell aliens about our planet Earth. NASA called it a mark of man. It contained information about our location in the galaxy. The radial diagram in the middle was actually a map. It showed the position of the sun in relation to 14 pulsars. Pulsars are degenerated stars that rotate rapidly and emit regular pulses. Basically, to understand this map, the alien race would already need a certain level of intelligence. They would need to know the basics. At the bottom of the plaque, the planets of our solar system were drawn. The sun is on the far left, followed by the planets in order of distance. An arrow points to the third planet to show where the spacecraft came from. On the middle right, there is even a silhouette of the spacecraft. Additionally, there are line drawings of a man and a woman, an attempt to show what humans look like, the beings who built the spacecraft. NASA said that this interstellar plaque shows the human race possesses a spiritual insight that takes it beyond the material problems of development. Broadly speaking, though, it was a very basic sheet. Aliens wouldn't gain a vast wealth of knowledge from it. That's why the Voyager missions carried a much more detailed message. The messages on the Voyagers are 12-inch gold-plated copper discs, phonograph records. They carry both sounds and images. 2 such records were carried, one by Voyager 1 and one by Voyager 2. These became known as the Golden Records. The contents of the Golden Record were divided into 4 sections. 1, Scenes from Earth, 115 images and diagrams providing information about our planet and the species living on it. It also included basic mathematical, chemical, and physical definitions. 2, Greetings from Earth, greetings spoken in 55 different languages. It also carried printed messages from then American President Jimmy Carter and then UN Secretary General Kurt Waldheim. Of course, for aliens to understand these messages, they would need to know English first. Now, for aliens to actually hear these sounds, they would need to know how to operate a phonograph. So NASA included instructions with the record. The good news, the instructions weren't written in English or any human language, because what are the chances that aliens would know our language? The bad news, the instructions were depicted in the form of diagrams. And here's the problem. Just look at these diagrams. Forget about aliens. If you were to look at them without explanation, would you know how to operate a phonograph machine? Honestly, most people wouldn't. So how can we expect aliens to understand how to operate this device by looking only at those diagrams? On the screen, you can see the English translation of the diagrams. Out there, beyond the reach of our sun, a small spacecraft sails through the endless dark. Voyager, launched decades ago, carries with it a message, not just of science, but of humanity itself. At over 17 kilometers per second, it races farther than any explorer before it, leaving behind the planets it showed us so vividly, carrying our hopes, our voices, our dreams etched on a golden record. Voyager is more than a machine. It is a time capsule, a messenger, a symbol of our eternal curiosity. It whispers to the stars, telling them who we are, where we come from, and that once on a pale blue dot there was life that dared to reach for the cosmos. Even when its voice falls silent, it will keep going, forever, drifting through the galaxy as humanity's first interstellar envoy. Long after we are gone, Voyager will still be out there, a silent testament to our will to explore.
That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives.